What is going on, everyone? It's DJ Kuhl. Hope you guys are doing well. And today we're going to be cooking up a drill beat using a Chinese type loop. If you watched the last tutorial video on this channel about it was a week ago from when this video is going to go up, you would have seen that I was cooking up beats based on words and just looking up the word on Looperman, which is a free loop website, and I just look up the word, download the first thing, and that kind of got me thinking, this website probably has a lot of different loops that we could go and mess with. So I downloaded a Chinese inspired loop because I just love messing with like foreign sounding stuff. And I put it in FL Studio here. I got the BPM lined up. And shout out to ND, he's the one who made it. I'll put like a screenshot on the screen so you can, see his username if you want to go get this loop yourself. But shout out to him, this loop is fire. And yeah, here's the loop. I'm really liking what we got so far, but we got to time stretches to be, more drill-like. So, I'm not sure if I want to make it faster by going up to 140 or just going up to 70 or going down to 70 rather, and then just changing the BPM. So it's either going to be faster or slower. So, I'm just going to kind of mess with it. Gonna set it on stretch first to make sure that, we keep the 8-bar loop, and I'm going to go down to 70 first. Yeah, it's a little slow, so let's go up to like 140. Alright, I think that's good. And we can change the pitch too. We can cut out those really low frequencies. And add more reverb, because this already sounds like there's some reverb on here, but we need more. Alright, so now that we got this loop here, I'm gonna go grab some drums and we'll start putting those in. Alright everyone, I am back and I got a bunch of drum sounds that I picked out from my kits here. And yeah, there's just a ton of stuff here, and I'm just gonna start with these two snares I kind of thought sounded cool together. Can layer those. We already got the sort of drill bounce in there. It sounded kind of different sounding, so. Alright, this is a different snare. I'm going to use it as sort of a hat, but I'm going to mess with it a little bit. I mean, I could just clone this if I really wanted to. I don't know why I'm doing it all out, but I'm going to mess with it a little bit. I'm also going to mess with the volume a little bit in here. And put a little EQ on here. Alright, I wanted to make the hats and sort of that, perk element a little more complex in this song, or this beat rather. So I'm going to add these perks here. And these are going to be like other hi-hat sound and stuff. So I'm just going to combine those with, I'll do it in the same pattern for now as the snare that I just put in here. Because I really like what we got with the snare here, but I definitely think it needs to be, sort of like more lively. you change that to the same velocity. And last but not least, I'm gonna add some rolls in with this snare. I gotta turn the snare way down too. I'm gonna bring out a little panning for these rolls here. There we go. I'll just throw it off to the side a little bit. Alright, so, you know, I don't want all of these to be in the same pattern, and, you know, I don't really feel like copying and pasting them all over. So what you can do to split everything up is you right-click on here, and it's not popping up on OBS, but you scroll down, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, and on the top of section 5, you can do split by channel. And what that does, it's going to split and name it by each thing. So we got the Ching snare, which is the snare that we were using. This was the roll snare. This was one of the perks, this one. And then we got that other perk, which sounded like this. And, you know, we can mix and match them, you know, where we want them to be. So let's say we only want the main sort of snare in the intro. We can put the main snare in the intro and just add the other stuff in when it drops. So, you know, it just really kind of handy function if you want to split stuff up without copying and pasting everything, and you know, because that gets annoying. Alright, so now that we got those perks done, I'm going to go in and add in the kick. But before we do that, I'm popping over to the mixer, and I'm going to add in a soft clipper, because when we're doing kicks, we got to have that soft clipper. And I chose this hit a kick. I thought it sounded, you know, pretty nice, pretty punchy. And yeah, let's just add it in. Alright, so now that we got that kick, I'm going to go ahead and make a new pattern so that we can put in the 808. I'm going to have one pattern so we can change up the 808s. But before we do that, I got to make sure that we come over to the envelope here. We turn that attack down, turn the hold up, decay down, the sustain down, and the release down. That was a tongue twister. I can't form sentences. So, yeah, so now when we play it and let go, we are not having any like leftover stuff when we would just play it without the envelope here. Like, that sounds super ugly. So let's go in and add it in. You know, you'll notice this 808's a little more like distorted, a lot more like going on. So you know, we can mess with the EQs if we want a little bit. But when I was listening to this back, I kind of figured out the notes. So let's hope I'm right. And I think we're the exact same, and maybe the end changes. Yeah, alright, slight change here. The D goes up to an F sharp, but we're still going to start off with a D here. There's no really like secret tip to ear training that I know of, so if you want to get better at just listening to loops and being able to, you know, mess with the 808s, I would recommend pitching the 808 up a little bit because it's easier to tell. All those low frequencies can throw you off sometimes. If you want to be able to figure out what like key it's in or what chord you're playing, just pitch it up. It's easier because, you know, it sounds more like the melody, because the melody is not going to be pitched super down unless you're working with some weird ass melody. But you know, just pitch it up and mess with it. And, you know, eventually if you mess with it enough, you'll be able to figure it out, you know, a lot quicker and a lot more easier than, you know, starting out. So no secret tip to ear training. Just sit down, listen to songs, and you can just mess with the bass. Alright, with that little talk, let's move into actually doing the 808s. Do a bunch of slides here at the end. Yeah, wait, this 808's a little short, so make sure we have enough juice to get those slides in. Oh, there we go. That's nice. That's catchy. That's good. Alright, so the 808s are done, at least for this pattern. I'm going to do another more complex pattern, but I wanted to keep it simple for this pattern. So now to make a copy of this pattern here so we can change it, I'm going to right click and I'm going to click clone. And we can hop in. It just clones it exactly, but you know, it's pattern 8 now. So I'm going to add in some more 808s in this area where I don't really have that much, so we can make it a little more complex for like a chorus or something. I forgot. We don't have this pattern on the playlist, so we're not going to be able to hear it. So, you know, got to put it there. Alright. Maybe we can try pitching all this up an octave at the end. I don't think we got enough juice to do that, but maybe we can make some adjustments. I mean, I'm going to mess with the EQ a little bit. It sounds a little cheesy up there right now, but if we mess with the EQ and we still don't like it, then I'll come back and change it. But for now, that's what we got for the 808s. I'm going to switch back to this one because this is going to be the one I'm using most of the time. This one's just going to come in to hype up the energy every so often. And yeah, I'm going to add in the last sound in terms of drums, which is going to be this sound here. Just a standard drum sound, or gunshot sound. So let's mess with it. And I'm just gonna fade this out with using the velocity envelope. It kind of cuts off on the screen, so the last one still won't pull up, but imagine a ramp going down. That's what the envelope looks like. So it just sounds like a gunshot echoing off. So here we go. And whenever something drops, we can just throw that in there, and you know, it'll be like a crash symbol, but instead it's a gunshot. So now I'm going to mess with that 808 EQ a little bit, and then I'm going to add a second melody, I'm thinking. Let's hop into the mixer, and here's our 808. I'm going to turn down these really high trebles. Yeah, that sounded a little better. Alright, so now that we got that fixed, I'm gonna go find the sound to play in a second melody. Alright, so I went and grabbed this strings long sound from Labs, and FYI, Labs is a free plugin. I know I've been saying that a ton, so if you want to upgrade your drill sounds, definitely recommend grabbing the free version of Labs. You know, this thing was a little quiet and panned a little weird, so I adjusted the panning and the volume up here, and the sound sounds like this. And I was just thinking about playing octaves in, so like, And I think that would sound really cool as something to bring in every like now and then, because the melody's already pretty good on its own. You know, just adding something, you know, deep and simple would, you know, make it a little darker at some points. So I'm just gonna play this in. I'll use my MIDI keyboard, I guess, and we can just mess with it. I messed up that last note. I definitely did. Yeah. But other than that, it should be fine. So yeah, that should be all the components we need. I was also thinking about adding in a half speed that we could, you know, put on an automation clip by, you know, automating this knob up here. And that we could use to like add in some change every now and then, you know, darken it up in some places or use it for an intro or something. The possibilities are really endless, but I'm going to go and arrange the beat now that we got all these physical components, and I'll be back once I got that done for you guys. Alright, so I am back, and I've got this beat fully arranged. I'm just going to give you guys a quick breakdown on what I did. Only new sound that I have in here is this riser effect here. And that is going to be used to transition between parts. As I said I would do, I got this automation clip from the gross beat half speed, and I bring that in every so often. So starting with the beginning, just have the melody, then we bring in some perks, hats, whatever you want to call it, and we half speed the melody for like a little, you know, intro section here, and we build it up with the kick and the snare and that riser effect into the chorus with the gunshot effect too. This is going to be used a lot with the riser effect, you know, not always with the riser effect, but you know, it's a good kind of combo. After this point here, we exit the first chorus, and during the first chorus we have everything playing at one point or another. We start with the simpler 808 pattern, we go up to the more complex one, and when that more complex pattern comes in, we have those strings that we put in. Verse is somewhat standard, you know, break it down a little bit by taking out some elements and then build it back up, and then we have sort of intro section again. Once that happens, we move into the second chorus. Second verse is basically the exact same as the first, it's just different stuff is arranged somewhat differently. You can sort of see, looks a little different. The little pre-chorus intro thing, it's like basically the same as the other two, except for the fact that the half speed's only on half of it, and I have this here, and there's two snares instead of one. It's just some minor stuff. We hit the last chorus here, and just have a half-speeded melody outro. So yeah, nothing super duper complex, but now I'm going to play a portion of this beat for you guys. Alright guys, so this is the final beat. We flipped a Chinese style loop and turned it into a drill beat, and in my opinion it came out pretty well. This could definitely be used in a drill song, and I'm not really sure who could use it, but if you guys have any suggestions on who you hear on this beat, drop them in the comments. And while you're down there, if you could like the video, that would be great if you did enjoy the video. Also, if you could go down and subscribe. I was on my YouTube analytics page, and only around 8% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, and we are closing in on 1K subs, so hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 1K subs. Yeah, so that's it for me today, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and see you guys later.